know why I have to do that. That is like just not good. Type into my own chat. That's so fucking stupid.
TGAN. I do this shit for the love of the game.
There we go. Hello all my gamer friendulums. TGAN Live here. If you're in the chat, other than myself, drop a like, drop a sub. As you can see, I'm slowly upgrading my setup, trying to get a little bit better with my lives. I moved my PC around to the wall that has my displays of the Fallout and Mass Effect, my two favorite game franchises. So yes, I'm slowly upgrading things. And no guest today. Once again, big thanks to Arcane Realm last weekend for stopping by. That was really cool of him. I hope I'd love to get more guests sometime. If I wanted to have a guest on right now, I would have no clue how to do that. Because for some stupid reason, I can't sign into my own chat through Streamlabs. So, unless that's some dumb thing that I have to upgrade. But, welcome to TGAN Live. Today's topics. Baldur's Gate TV show just announced with Craig Mazin as showrunner. Helldivers movie has just been updated with some casting news, which that's also news this week, as well as an update on the cast for the God of War show. And also, I'm going to take a look at that secret little pin that was on the map, the Fallout TV show map, and that I forgot to look at last weekend. Last weekend I was talking about the show, so yes, there was a weird secret pin on a map. There was a weird secret little pin on a map, a Fallout on the Prime Fallout show, that was something that was supposed to be that was revealed at the end of the season. So that would have been a week ago, and I haven't really looked at it yet. So I'll link with that at the last topic of the show. So that's 4 topics. Don't know how long that'll take. An hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. Probably won't even go full 2 hours. I like to shoot for 2 hours, but I've changed my setup a little bit. I'm actually sitting right in front of my cat's sleepy thing. My cat's singing. You can't see her. She's like literally right behind me, but. And yeah, see, I put my controller boxes in the way so people know that I'm a gamer, and my Batman mask that's on an owl. So yeah, see how cool I am? And the lighting's a little better. My lighting was bad. I have no lighting. Right now I'm just like the light above me and the light coming from my window. So yeah, drop a like, drop a subscribe. Tell me what you think of my intro. I'm still figuring out Streamlabs. It's definitely not as messy as OBS, so I'm not sure. I'm still figuring it out. Alright, so let's take a look at the first piece of news over here on Deadline. It's like I gotta watch my stream on another thing so I can see it looks okay. I don't know how to do that on my unless I have 2 monitors. I guess you'd need 2 monitors for to like watch things from another angle, but I only got 1 monitor. I'm not that fancy. Deadline title, as you can see, Baldur's Gate TV series continuing game story in works at HBO from The Last of Us. Co-creator Craig Mazin and Hasbro Entertainment. Craig Mazin is a screenwriter who I've actually been following for years as someone who loves screenwriting, and I've written tons of screenplays myself, and I actually went to film school. I graduated in 2012. But I've been aware of Craig Mazin for years as I listen to his podcast. He has what I consider the best screenwriting podcast on all the internet. He co-hosts with John August. And it's awesome because these are both guys that are working in the industry right now, so they talk about things that are totally current. So if you're interested in screenwriting at all, I highly recommend listening to Script Notes with him and John August. I'm assuming they still do that show. I haven't listened recently, but it's the best screenwriting podcast, point blank period. Exclusive. Craig Mazin, co-creator of arguably the most acclaimed TV adaptation of a video game to date. Yeah, arguably is big time, considering I'm going to try to avoid shitting on last season. Because season 2 was, I don't know what they did there. HBO's The Last of Us will be taking on another hugely popular and acclaimed game title, Larian Studios' Baldur's Gate 3, which is set in the world of Dungeons and Dragons. Like, all these shows are so messy. I don't have my... I'm pretty sure I have ad block on, and there's still tons of ads. Yeah. I have ad block turned on, and it's still full of ads. HBO series based on Wizards of the Coast video game franchise, with Mazin attached to create, write, executive produce, and show run the adaptation. Also exec producing are Jacqueline Lesko, Cecil O'Connor, and Hasbro Entertainment's Gabriel Marino. Chris Perkins, the former longtime head of story at Hasbro subsidiary Wizards of the Coast, which is behind the D&D game universe. I guess Wizards of the Coast were the people who actually created the entire thing. I don't know. Unlike Last of Us, which retold the story from the PlayStation games, the Baldur's Gate TV series will be a continuation of the games. So it's not going to rehash Baldur's Gate 3. It's going to focus on a story directly after Baldur's Gate 3. And as someone who's playing the game, I still haven't finished it. I have no idea how it ended. And it probably has like multiple endings, but how are they going to do that? Why are they going to do that? Couldn't tell you. It takes place immediately after the events of Baldur's Gate 3, as the characters old and new are dealing with the ramifications of the events of the third game. The events that I am not aware of. Like The Last of Us, Mazin's passion for Baldur's Gate 3 and its characters and story led to his desire to adapt it as a TV series. He has proudly completed the Sven Vic developed game in the challenging honor mode. Why is he saying Sven Vic when there's more than one person at? I keep getting distracted by the news on the side. I'm trying not to, but I got so much ADD. The Sven Vic developed game in the challenging honor mode, and he is also a longtime D&D fan. A dungeon master who's been playing the game weekly for the past 15 years. Including tonight, which I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Are they saying that the day that they wrote this article, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna go play blah 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 later. After putting nearly 1,000 hours into the incredible world of Baldur's Gate 3, it is a dream come true to be able to continue the story that Larian and Wizards of the Coast created. I'm a devoted fan of D&D and the brilliant way that Sven Vink, I'm probably saying it wrong, Sven maybe, but it's a W, and its gifted team adapted it. I can't wait to help bring Baldur's Gate and all of its incredible characters to life with as much respect and love as we can. I am deeply grateful to Gabe Marino and his team at Hasbro for entrusting me with this incredible property. With no ties to another Baldur's Gate, turn that notification sound off. With no ties to another Baldur's Gate game in development, Mazin has freedom over the direction of the story, making it more of a traditional show versus The Last of Us, whose plot and lifespan were determined by the existing games. As Deadline has reported, the post-apocalyptic drama is expected to end with its upcoming third season, which is an update when they were talking about potentially going for a fourth, but I always saw that I can't see how they would go past 3 seasons, so they're expecting to end it on a third season. Baldur's Gate slated to be Mazin's follow-up for HBO, where he also created and executive produced the Emmy-winning Chernobyl. Baldur's Gate is designed to be ongoing and continue with different kinds of stories within the sprawling world of the game. The series draws deeply from the source material of Baldur's Gate 3, how it begins, how the game ends, and not so much from the first 2 games, which are not official source material. Still, there are some commonalities across these games that are connected to Dungeons and Dragons lore, which Mazin plans to draw upon under the agreement of Wizards of the Coast. The TV series will feature both existing characters from Baldur's Gate and new ones. So they're going to create brand new characters. I'm sure they'll, I don't know why they need to create brand new characters. They essentially have every character they need in terms of characters and all the standard characters you'd have for a show. It is expected to keep the D&D tradition of taking new characters who are not that powerful and follow their journey through adventures to make them powerful. So it's going to be like the game where they start off with wearing like a pauper uniform, like a pauper as in P-O-U-P-E-R, a poor person wearing crappy clothes, and then they keep leveling up. That would be cool to see in a show. The new protagonists are bound to run into beloved characters in Baldur's Gate 3. Some of them heroes, some of them villains, some of them literally devils, who occupy the same world. Now incredibly powerful, they'll meddle, helping or hindering the new heroes. So it's after the first game, so they've all leveled up, though they level up along with you. So generally, they don't all level up at the exact same time. They could level up after you did, and then anyways, I'm not going to just explain the games because I haven't played it in a while and I still haven't finished it, so I don't know how the show ends or the game ends. But it almost makes it sound like they're going to make a brand new character, and the characters from the games are going to be side characters. Mazin, who is just now starting his own journey with the material, as his deal just closed, plans to reach out to voice cast members of Baldur's Gate 3 with ideas for them to participate in the TV adaptation. If possible. He and The Last of Us co-creator Neil Druckmann did it on their HBO series with several actors that from that game, most notably Merle Dandridge, who reprised her role as Marlene, also not mentioned in the article, but Jeffrey Wright. Mazin, who also has an overall deal with HBO, is now in final prep on season 3 of The Last of Us, so they haven't even started shooting that yet. Maybe later this year or next year. It's like they pretty much had exactly 2 years between season 3 and season 1 and 2. So if they're still on that same time schedule, they could have season 3 in 2027. But if they're going to do that, they better start shooting soon. We're thrilled to continue our partnership with Craig Mazin on Baldur's Gate. Francesca Orsi, EVP head of HBO drama programming, said. His deep and long-standing passion for the source material, paired with his remarkable talent for building immersive worlds filled with rich, compelling characters, promises groundbreaking results. Groundbreaking. That's a big word. What would a show do that would be groundbreaking? HBO's Baldur's Gate is designed to coexist alongside the Forgotten Realms live-action D&D series. Right, of course, there's also going to be a D&D series with Hasbro set up at Netflix with Sean Levy. Sean Levy, who produces Stranger Things, which finally just ended. And I didn't actually watch the end of the finales because the first couple episodes of the last season were so bad. I thought they were just dreadful. I didn't even want to watch the rest of it. The two shared D&D's The Forgotten Realms campaign setting, which is vast and could accommodate multiple TV series. The fans have been eagerly awaiting adaptation of Baldur's Gate, and we could not ask for better partners than HBO and the incomparable Craig Mazin. To build this world with Gabriel Marino, head of television Hasbro Entertainment said. Druckmann talking about The Last of Us Season 2. So he's not going to be as involved in Season 3. That's a whole other thing. Hasbro Entertainment has a Power Rangers live action series in the works at Disney Plus. Power Rangers? What's Power Rangers got to do with Disney? And a couple of other high profile series in the marketplace. Part of the D&D franchise, the Baldur's Gate character-driven role-playing game first originated in 1998 and became for a mature setting of crime, political intrigue, and edgy adventure. The most recent game, Baldur's Gate 3, launched to massive critical and commercial success. With over 15 million lifetime players, 34 industry award wins, and made history as the first game to win all 5 major Game of the Year awards. If you consider the Game of the Year show all 5 major Game of the Year awards, are they including the Game Awards with Keeley? I wouldn't call that one major, to be honest. That one just feels like it's a little bit like, I don't know, fake. Mazin is repped by CAA. Hasbro Entertainment is repped by WME. Do the comments say anything interesting? Because why not look at the comments? It would be funny. Maybe they say something funny. The fact that the people who created the game will be following Yano things. If you're going to do a show based off a game, then make it like the game. Hollywood haven't learned even enough iron lung. I don't know what that means, iron lung. I don't know. Hell nah. As long as they focus on the new group, it would be fine with me. They'll just tell a new story. HBO knows how to do high fantasy, absolutely. They did Game of Thrones, and they're doing that new Dragons show spin-off, which I haven't watched, but so they know what they're doing. I'd be happy if the main characters just get cameos. Make Bloodweave canon and I'm set. What a bold choice to do this right after we're saying we're going to use generative AI in the dev room. How do you know that? Can't wait for more AI slop. Yes, everyone's favorite word so far in 2026 is AI slop. Whoever said that word first, if I met them, I would slap them. I would slop them in the face. I don't know why it has to be slop. Why isn't it AI junk or AI crap? Because now everything is just slop. I'll slop you in your mouth. See right here, not everything is made with the help of AI slop. I don't disagree with that comment. But yeah, it is being used a lot as people are losing jobs, so that's not good at all. But people are going to start relying on it a lot more. Oh, I want to go more comments. Why can't you just show all the comments? The game itself is set up for an ongoing story or sequel, so this might have been a good idea. What about Baldur's Gate 4? Would that even be a thing? I know Larian is not going to do the next Baldur's Gate. They're working on Divinity 3, which I'm more excited for than any Baldur's Gate game. The first 2 Divinity games are incredible. Actually, no, I already know they're making a Divinity game. What am I saying? They had a trailer at the Game Awards. A fucked up, disturbing ass trailer. Well, it's just going to be called Divinity. Because now I'm suddenly forgetting what the entire title of their games are. Divinity something. Going live action means the companions from BG3 will look and sound nothing like themselves. How do you know that? What if they get the exact actors to do the characters? Considering they reach out to them, so the actual person who played that role could be the person on screen. People would love that. The obsession with live action somehow being superior needs to die off. Yeah, I mean, live action or animated doesn't make a difference to me. I mean, sometimes going animated makes more sense, or doing a movie makes more sense, or doing a show makes more sense. I think people doing shows is what helped. Jesus Christ. I'm a tad under the weather. I still go back to the first season of Witcher, and Witcher was a great season, even though the show was complete garbage now, but it being a show, I think, made a big difference than it just being a movie. I think that was the one that was like, all right, maybe we should try doing shows instead of movies and try to jam everything into like an hour and a half to 2 hours. See, this is a sensible comment right here. They have a good IP, a good showrunner, and a decent budget. You don't know how decent the budget is, but it's HBO, so I'm sure it'll be high. Has the possibility to be great. See, that's a nice, sensible comment. Awful idea. A girl named Michael, okay. Awful idea. The last thing I want is to have a show that will be horribly miscast and ruin beloved characters. How do you even know that? No. Game adaptations are the new thing. Comic book movies are going to step back, and adaptations are the next big thing. I am telling you. This sounds terrible. The story of the first Gate games were superior to 3. I don't know. I never played them. See, and this person. I'm so excited for this. Obviously, with Dark Urge having a prominent place to fill in the gaps of storyline. Yeah, I don't know the history of Baldur's Gate, so I don't know what Dark Urge means. That sounds like something dirty. I have a dark urge. I have a dark urge, and I can't control it. Such a prominent place to fill in the gaps in the storyline. Hoping this is a story following the Dark Urge. I don't know what that is. Stop saying Dark Urge, you creep. Ah, good. So the game that's made to be very adapted to player choices is going to have a set canon and ending with the companions who are all known to be ruined. Fuck you. Yeah, well, what do you expect? Like, do you think they could somehow figure out how to do a show? Like, this person clearly doesn't know how shows work. Like, it has to be a certain way for the show to be, proper. See, there you go. You act like games don't have novelizations with exactly that fairly often, like the AC games, for example. AC, Assassin's Creed, is that what they mean? You're free to ignore what they choose, and it doesn't affect their game ending at all. Exactly. Another comment. Another sensible comment. Thank you, Albert J. Roberts. The whatever. Ajax. More D&D is good. I hope and wait for this. Wondering what end they'll choose to roll with. Well, yeah, that's the big question, I guess. You have a game with multiple endings. How do you decide how to? But I mean, as far as I'm concerned, well, no. To me, it's a fact now that Fallout is the new standard, and how to take a series with multiple games and make it work to one cohesive story, because it's kind of impossible to just put multiple different endings. Other than the fact that each character, you have 3 main characters, and they have their own journey and ending, so that should be satisfactory. No, please God, no. It doesn't really need a continuation, though. What could a TV adaptation possibly contribute? Oh, nothing at all. It's just another soulless lay rat. This person made another comment earlier. This person's all over the place. I don't know, MJ. Oh, anyways, Michael J. Fox kid. Confused. This is the worst idea ever. You will ruin everything. Yeah, you. Who are you talking to? Craig Mazin isn't reading this chat. People who do that are so dumb. Like, that's the beyond stupidest thing I can think of. You're yelling at Deadline, basically. Deadline just reported the story. This is a choice-based game, so this is already non-logical. Hey, made you thing alone. How? No one's gonna know the story yet. It just got announced, a couple days ago. There's probably he still has to make season 3 of Last of Us and then do this. So this is 3, 4, 5 years in the making. Right, so Larian's not going to be involved, but I don't think they're going to 100% not be involved. I think they're going to have some connection. I wouldn't be surprised if Craig is already familiar with Sven from Larian. Yeah, Sven has made it said a couple times he has no interest to continue with the series at all. For Larian, it was always one and a done deal. Yes, they have their own This is such a trash tier idea. What does that even mean? We don't want this. Nobody wants this. Do not make this. Well, they're not going to listen to you. What does that mean? Craigery P.T. Barnum Mazin, of all people. Well, that's agreeable. With how toxic the fandom is, this will cause problems. Of course. People get so hateful about what ending people choose, which is why having canon ending is so terrible. This will cause more harm than good. I have already gone through too much drama? What does that mean? Oh, so much drama. Yeah, calm down. It's not that big of a deal. Exactly. See, there's sensible people in here. Please get Craig as far away from our beloved games. Ironically, they really just can't leave lore up to the player's choice and imagination, can they? Exactly. This has nothing to do with any of the game's tabletop themes. Jesus. Correct. It's just a TV series, which has never historically worked well for D&D. I'm not sure what they mean by that. What other D&D show? There was a D&D movie, which was actually pretty funny. The D&D movie was not bad. AFAIK. I don't know what that means. AFAIK. There's only been only the cartoon. Okay, I want to know what that means. AFAIK. Yeah, Noah Bull. There you are. My most reliable fan. AFAIK. I'm trying to figure out what this word means. Someone just said, as far as I know. Okay. As far as I know, there's only been the cartoon, which was fine. Yeah, the cartoon from like the 90s. Noble Bull, always, thank you for being here. Talking about the new Baldur's Gate TV show. Hey man, as long as you're here, that's so cool. But yeah, you are late. You're half an hour late, by the way. Jeez. Share the link out if you have anyone to follow. But yeah, let me know what you think of my slightly upgraded setup. I'm trying to get a little better here with my stuff. Even got a nice getting understanding, figuring out Streamlabs. But hey, that's enough talking about the Baldur's Gate. Let's go over here and talk about all the new casting information for the God of War show. About a month or so ago, they announced that they found their Kratos, Ryan Hurst, but now they've expanded on the cast. So this article comes from Kotaku. Atreus and everyone cast in the God of War TV show so far. Amazon's live-action series is bringing back some actors who were part of the games. See, you know, they're trying to get people from the games involved, so you know, that should be good enough for all the crazy people. High Life 2, I haven't played that yet. I got it installed. Amazon is making a live-action adaptation of God of War, specifically the 2018 game set in Norse mythology. The show hasn't begun shooting yet, but the casting announcements are trickling out as Amazon and Sony prepare to move ahead with the production. It's like Sony is like starting to focus more on adaptations because their gaming section is hurting right now. Not so much the console. The show hasn't begun shooting yet, but the casting announcements are trickling out. Some actors will recognize from other shows and movies as well, but so far only one is reprising their role from the actual game. Let's run down who we know so far is in the God of War show. Ryan Hurst as Kratos, which was announced a few weeks ago. Leading the show would be Ryan Hurst as the God of War himself. Hurst played Thor in the game, so he's familiar with the source material, though the familiar casting wasn't without a little bit of controversy. This is the first time Kratos is not portrayed by a black actor. Oh, okay, I didn't know who the first person was, or that they were black. I know that, what's his face, Christopher, whatever his face, was in the newer games. Outside of playing Thor and Ragnarok, Hurst has also played Opie in Sons of Anarchy and Beta in the Walking Dead franchise. Most recently, he has played Miles in the new Netflix Western series, The Abandoned. What happens if I press this? This is just a clip. Okay. Christopher Judge. Static? I don't know, that might be my cat. She's literally right behind me and she snores. So I don't know what you mean by static. I don't know, I'm turning up. I have this running on my phone to see how it looks. Oh, okay. My phone has decided not to turn up the volume anymore. Okay. Cool, that makes sense. Actually, wait. Shit. My phone to see how it looks. Oh, okay. My phone has decided. Yeah, I'm not sure. It could be that I'm right next to my cat's area and there's a water, I have a water fountain thingy going. It could be that, I'm not sure. I'm still figuring all this out. Or maybe it's a setting on my mic. I don't know, I didn't change it, but still figure it out. If you know anything about this stuff, holla at me. So Callum Vincent was Atreus. I actually didn't know they'd cast Atreus because they didn't announce that a week or so ago. Co-lead of the series will be child actor Callum Vincent as Kratos' annoying, whiny son Atreus. One of Vincent's most high-profile roles hasn't actually premiered yet. He's playing. I think that's news to me. I'm pretty sure I didn't know that. Yeah, that's all they do now. They just like try to find a way to spin off something. Like perfect example is the new It show. Not that it's bad. Not that these shows are bad or anything. It's just, you know, more examples of the fact that they're running out of new ideas and nobody wants new ideas anymore. Beyond that, he's also appeared in a series like Poker Face, Chucky, and voiced Piglet in the recent iterations of Winnie the Pooh.
Was conducting. It's 60 years old.
You got any papers on it?
No, it was a gift. Well, it's worth more than that.
I'm sure.
That's less than a month over standard tuition.
No, I know. I'm working on getting the rest, but I'm just gonna need a little bit more time.
I tried calling Thomas.
And Truman was hooking up those cameras, and Mrs. Mann said we were in trouble, and thought maybe if I called Dad, told him we were in trouble.
He sounds whiny enough to play Atreus, so. Alistair Duncan, so this is the guy who actually did the voice for Mimir, whatever, in the games. One of the other game actors coming back to the God of War show is Mimir actor Alistair Duncan, who is thus the only performer arising their existing role from the games for the show. Duncan's voice performance was already one of the standouts of the God of War games, so I'm sure he'll crush it. I'm being whoever wrote this article. Kenneth Shepard. Okay, Kenneth. I agree with you, Kenneth. He was quite enjoyable in the second game, or first game, where he's a head that's stuck on Kratos' not leg, whatever, fucking, I can't think of words when I'm on live shows, but he was funny. Him and Atreus would like just talk all the time. Danny Woodburn and Jeff Golka as Brock and Sindri. Danny Woodburn, best known for playing best known from Seinfeld, where he was Kramer's bestie, one of Kramer's friends. He was hilarious. Rounding out our known heroes is Danny Woodburn and Jeff Golka. I have never heard of Jeff Golka before. as the bickering dwarven brothers Brock and Sindri, respectively. Woodburn has been in shows like Seinfeld, Conan the Adventurer, Bones, and recently appeared as Zoltan in Netflix's god-awful Witcher Season 4. He was in the most recent season, and I didn't even finish the season because I just couldn't watch it anymore. And he was pretty bad in that. Gulko, meanwhile, has worked on shows like X-Files and Stargate. I'm not familiar with this Gulka guy at all.
How old were you?
Years old, and
This is
my aunt was on.
Gulka? Gulka? I don't know. Oh, another Canadian. Yes! So that means he's amazing. Height, 1.4 meters? Wait, what's that in, like, regular height? What is... Oh my god, he's 4 feet tall. That's crazy. I would, like, be so depressed if I was that short. I love being tall. I'm over 6 feet. It's the besticles. Max Parker as Heimdall. It looks like the show will be playing with the timeline of the games a bit, as Heimdall is set to appear in the first season, although he didn't appear in the games until Ragnarok. Boots actor Max Parker will portray the evil bastard. He also has led Vampire Academy and Blood, Sex, and Royalty. So they are taking some liberties and including some characters from Ragnarok.
Hi. This is me.
It's mine now, Laquito. I ain't doing top bunk. I need shit. What happened to the dude that was here before?
Just couldn't hack it.
Yo.
Anywho's. Olar Dari Olfison. So yeah, I don't believe Thor was in the first game. I don't know. I played it, but now I can't remember. With Hearst playing Kratos this time around, someone else has to pick up Mjolnir for the show. Icelandic actor Olfar Dari Olfison will portray the god of thunder. Severance fans will likely recognize him as Mr. Drummond, where he was a very intimidating presence throughout the second season. Not a bad pick for God of War's version of Thor. It's confusing to see
in the wind.
Black Guy.
This is your fault.
I haven't followed protocol.
He's a big dude, so you know. Mandy Patinkin as Odin. Odin, who again was an enigma throughout the first Norse God of War, will be showing up early in the Amazon series as well. Storied actor Mandy Patinkin will be playing the Allfather. I'm eager to see him fill the shoes left by Richard Schiff, who played him in Ragnarok. Patinkin, on top of having a long history in theater collaborating with legends like Andrew Lloyd Webber, has also been in plenty of films and television across a decades-long career, including his role as Inigo Montoya in The Princess Bride. And no, I don't need to say the line. You know the line. You've seen the movie. Teresa Palmer as Sif. This was also announced alongside with Ryan Hurst's announcement. Warm Bodies actor. Okay, that's kind of a throwback. That movie is like over 10 years old. She's been in a lot more things than that since. Teresa Palmer has joined the cast of Sif, the wife of Thor, mother of Magni, Modi, and Thrud, whoever they are. Palmer has recently led the TV series The Last Anniversary, Mixtape, and The Family Next Door. I believe she's Australian or something. She's one of those actresses who like always plays some sort of American, so if you don't know that she's probably not American. That's all we know so far. But if you've played the Norse God of War games, you know they're packed with characters. We still haven't heard of who's being cast for Freya, Baldur, Angrabada. See, I don't know how to pronounce these fucking names. Angrabada. Many and others. The God of War show is currently in pre-production with 2018's game director Corey Barlog. Oh, really? So Corey Barlog's involved. That's good. I can't remember if he was involved in the second one. I never played it. What do the comments say? I kind of don't understand why more of the cast just isn't the actors. See, another one. People are always like, why isn't just the cast from the games in it? Because they don't really get how these things work. Sometimes you just can't get them, or there could be pushback from the studio saying, yeah, we don't like Christopher Judge or whoever, we don't want him in the show. And I've heard he's had mixed thoughts. I remember hearing someone said that he didn't like that he wasn't involved, but then he was like, yeah, way to go, Ryan Hurst. I don't know. I kind of don't understand why more of the cast isn't just the actors. Let's face it, mocap. Yeah, no, it's not a no-brainer, Mr. DR. You don't know how the industry works. 5 people watching. If you're new here, drop a comment. Let me know what's up. I don't know about the rest of the cast, but Christopher Judge has some pretty bad health problems. I didn't know that. I'd imagine this role requires people to be very active, and I'm not sure he's up to it. I didn't know he had health problems. It's too bad. It's basically an all-stars, most-aligned kind of situation to get video game actors to do live action. Yeah, that's exactly the perfect answer. Most of these actors are already attached to contracts with certain studios, hence why Don Cheadle has probably shown up in the most Marvel content and DuckTales? What the fuck do you mean by DuckTales? Now because we know who the actor of the trailers is going to be. It's a nice little treat to have him contracted. I don't get this explanation. What does he mean? Don Cheadle is in a fucking DuckTales show? Is that what they're saying? Because that sounds weird. DuckTales? Oh, the animated show, I guess? Oh. I guess. Yeah, they brought that back, so what? I used to watch DuckTales. DuckTales. Woo! And Darkwing Duck. When there's trouble, you call DW. For real, especially since they seem to be remaking the game as a TV show anyways. Yeah, this is the perfect answer, because yeah, you don't know how things work out. Stars have to align. People are in contracts. Zachary Miller, this is some weird ass casting, yo. Okay. That's a brilliant comment, Zachary. Yeah, I used to watch those shows, DuckTales. Chip and Dale's, Rescue Rangers, Darkwing Duck. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you think about any of this new casting. Are you excited for a God of War TV show? Next topic. This is the brand news to me. Jason Momoa has just been cast in the Helldivers movie. Momoa is set to star in Sony's feature take of Helldivers video game from Justin Lin. Fall 2027 release. So Momoa is like, this is the second adaptation now after doing Minecraft, which was a surprisingly enjoyable movie. This is not an exclusive. If it is, they would say, Jason Momoa will star in the PlayStation Productions and Sony Picture Films adaptation of Helldivers, based on Arrowhead Game Studios' video game franchise. Justin Lin will direct, and the pick will hit theaters November 10th. How do they already have the exact date? That can change, but it's just like, how do they know the exact date already? The game debuted in 2015, and the prequel, Helldivers 2, sold more than 12 million units across PS5 and PC in the first 4 months after its 2024 launch. The game recently expanded to Xbox and continues to perform. Yeah, that's all anyone ever talked about at the beginning of the year. Helldivers 2 story centers around an elite unit of soldiers known as Helldivers who must battle alien creatures threatening to destroy the fictional planet of Super Earth. I think Helldivers is inspired by Starship Troopers, I guess. I think so. Hutch Parker is producing with PlayStation Productions Assad Kizilbash. Wish they would, like, you know, put in quotes, put in like a little bracket of like, how do you say this name so I don't sound like a butt face when I try to say this shit. Sony Pictures and PlayStation Productions previously worked together on Uncharted. Yeah, that movie that wasn't the best, but it wasn't bad. Starring Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg, which earned 47 million global. It is one of the 10 highest grossing game adaptations globally. Peacock's hit series Twisted Metal, yes, well, check that out if you're not. And the award-winning Last of Us. Another Last of Us mentioned. It's like you can't even avoid it. Oh my god, I keep getting distracted. I wish they could remove this stuff on the side, like, because now I'm just reading that Stephen A. Smith wants to run for 2020 president. Oh, fuck you, man. That guy's a psycho. No one would vote for him. He's too retarded. It was recently revealed that Momoa will be playing Intergalactic Dante Lobo, which is sweet. Lobo is so cool. I know that Momoa was trying to get that role, I think. And he'd be a good choice. I mean, he pretty much just looks like Lobo if you give him the makeup. So, Lobo's cool, but I could care less about Supergirl. He should get his own show. Momoa live action Lobo show, I'd watch that. Supergirl, no interest. In interest in theaters, June 26th, part of a busy year for the leading action star. Yeah, he's probably one of the busiest actors out there right now. He's like the new Rock. He's the new Dwayne Johnson. Currently, he stars opposite Dave Bautista in Amazon MGM Studios' The Wrecking Crew on Prime Video, which I have not seen. On May 1st, he stars opposite Ryan Reynolds in Warner Bros. Legendary Hybrid Animated. So is that like Roger Rabbit, Animal Friends? He's also taking on the iconic role of Blanca. Yeah, of course. Right, I forgot. So that's another October 16th. I didn't know that. It's coming out this year? Shit. I'm pretty sure they're still shooting it, or they're close. No, I remember at the Game Awards in December, they came out on stage, but they were still filming it at that moment. So that's 3 game adaptations with Momoa. So is he down with that? Is that things that he wants to do? Does he know these games? He's also taking the iconic role of Blanca in legendary Paramount Street Fighter out October 16th and returns to Duncan, Idaho in Warner Brothers Dune Part 3. I thought he died in that. Maybe it's a flashback. Momoa previously played Aquaman in Warner Brothers DC Universe across 2 films directed by James Wan. He starred as Dante in Fast X, which Lynn wrote and produced last year. Momoa starred in Warner Brothers Legendary's nearly $1 billion Minecraft movie. Arguably the first movie to wake up the 2025 global box office. He is also known for playing Khal Drogo on HBO's Game of Thrones. That was like a while ago. It's almost like, do we still need to mention that? 6 people watching, drop a comment. Let me know who you are if you're new here. He is also, alright, I already read that. Recently starred in and co-created Apple TV's limited series Chief of War. Any comments? I'm not tired of his face. No homo, but Jason Momoa is a good-looking dude. I don't see Jim Ace as the type of guy to get blown up by gunfire. Kind of makes me worried. Helldivers aren't badass or brainwashed cannon fodder. I don't know. I don't play the game. Does that mean there's like no main character in the game? Depends on if they're attacking the machine, squids, or bugs. Better have a lot of explosions and at least one raid on Capital Planet. Oh, and hopefully a new weapon. Welp, there goes the movie. Too bad we couldn't get a Gears of War movie. I believe they are doing that. Pretty sure they're doing a movie and a live animated show. I could be wrong. They could have changed that. Momoa is my favorite wrestler turned actor. When was he a wrestler? You are dumb. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he hasn't. Is he confusing him with Roman Reigns? Movie is already in trouble with the director. How do you know that? That was Jason Momoa. Yeah, that's pretty funny actually. We have to wonder who Jack Black is going to play. Good point. Jack Black might be in it. He's become a big adaptation guy too. He was in Minecraft, Borderlands, Super Mario. Oops. There was already a Helldivers movie called Starship Troopers. Exactly. That was my thought as well. Adapting Helldivers with Borderlands from Star Troopers seems redundant. But I'm sure I'll watch it. I'm not sick of Jason Momoa yet, but he is starting to become, you know, every time an actor gets big, they get overexposed. That's just how it happens. Just like Pedro, people got sick of him. I didn't really. Then just Dwayne Johnson using everything. Somebody say something in the chat. I want to know who's here. If I go over Streamlabs, are you guys going to see that? Probably. I don't know how to make that not happen. Still learning here, Pal. So, Jason Momoa is now doing a third game adaptations. And I think that might be news to me that Street Fighter is coming out in October. And I still think it's borderline not racist, but the fact they're going to have Blanca and he's probably going to be all CGI'd out, which I don't know. I think doing Blanca could be hard. Either if you do digital or even just pure live with all just makeup, which I think going with makeup would be better, but considering Blanca is like half a savage or whatever, I don't know. How would they even pull that off? So the show's been on for an hour and this was my third story. And I only have one story left. Drop a comment if there's something I'm not aware of. There's now 7 people watching. Wow. It's like the longer I'm on, more people show up. Now I don't want to end because let me know what's going on. Tell me something. Alright, over here. This map showed up. Over here on the Fallout Amazon Studios. I think I put a link in the show notes below. But this map showed up a week or so or a month or so ago, claiming that there's going to be a secret pin that's going to be revealed at the end of the second season. And here is the secret pin. This was just nothing a week or so ago, but there really isn't all that much to see. You click on it, and it says Explore 3D Location. Once the private domain of Mr. House, it overlooks the strip with a commanding view of New Vegas. Is that the Yes Man? Equal parts luxury suite and control center. A step back in time to its intersection of decadence and authority. You click on this and it loads. And it's a little 3D like in-browser thing. Still behind me, kitty? You're like directly behind me. Yeah, this thing takes a long time to load though. Like this feels like some 90s shit. With some flash website with like I'm surprised at how inefficient this is. Full screen it. What's going on? Come on. Enter. Yeah, this is just like from the show. Can you move it around? Okay. So I can move ahead. Just like the show. When Cooper first walked in and Mr. House was sitting right there. You can see all the things in the background. Tops Casino. This is the Lucky 38 we're in right now. So I go that way. I guess it doesn't matter which way I go. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's why it takes that long to load. You gotta run all this 3D in-browser stuff. Welcome to the penthouse in New Vegas. Enjoy the spectacular pre-war views while you explore the behind the scenes of the Creatures Casinos. Oh, just behind the scenes, right? But are these going to be things that are going to be on the whatever, the home release, which I'm definitely going to buy day one? Ooh, I'm going to go over here, check out the Cold Fusion. Nothing to see though. Yeah, if you're watching this, I could be spoiling the show for you if you haven't watched Fall Season 2 yet. And if you haven't watched Fall Season 2, what the fuck are you doing? Actually, this doesn't make sense for him to have the Cold Fusion yet. This is back in the past. He didn't have it back then. Even the audio changes depending on where you are. So there's behind the scenes stuff. I did. Yeah, I don't know.
We had a whole digital stage to create the penthouse for the Lucky 38. And in the game, honestly, you never see the penthouse when it's in all its glory, ever. I made it much more like a club and a more completely finished off set.
When you get to walk on a set and you really get to have the whole set there, something is so fully realized that you can open the drawer and there's all sorts of gack that Robert House would have in his drawers, or the buttons are all accurate. Everything is just so beautifully done. You could just sit on that set and just watch that wall with the lights glistening, and it feels so much better than just sort of the regular scrim. Anytime you can have the whole thing realized for you and not be acting with a green screen or only half the space built, shooting into it, it's a wonderful thing. I just love playing that guy. Very sort of particular.
Yeah, Justin Theroux's really good as Mr. House. Beat me up for caps. Let's take a look at how the costume designers and wardrobe created the many faces of the wasteland. Sunny's Sundries, same guy. That's directly from the games. I wish I could zoom in. There's it showed you all the prices for things. I think it's all done on the back lot. Blast off to the future. Is that a person? I don't know. They look weird. They put that person in there. You can see all the oh wait, you can move it though. This guy is just selling a bunch of crap, walking around vendor, adult books, XXX movies. But the attention to detail is pretty incredible. A merchant, yeah. There's things down below I'm not reading. An everyman, a merchant, or an entertainer. The wardrobe of the show strikes a balance between the practicality of survival and the eccentric, chaotic personality of the wasteland. Well, they probably just took this behind the scenes while they were waiting for it to be rolling. I bet you these are just extras chilling and waiting for the cameras to roll. Yeah, there's a makeup person back there. Yeah, I've been on sets before. I know how all this things. 8 people. Come on, people, drop a comment. If you're new here, I want to know who you are. I've worked on movie sets. I know how these things are. As in, worked as in I've been an extra. Movies. Hats are definitely a must. They don't say anything there. These are just more people. Okay, bitch. I'm just looking at this. Is the first time I've seen this. Oh, I didn't look at this before this. And no, Desert Apocalypse is complete without goggles. They never fit me. Just because you don't have actual eyes, you freak. That one looks like it's about death claws. I'll watch that one last. Death claws are so cool. Lucky 38. Welcome to the before and after, a gallery where we've collected set photos of the Lucky 38 casino. For the show, filmmakers travel between 2 eras, from the glitz and glamour of pre-war Vegas to the present day, with same sets, aged and textured for the apocalypse. This is the part where they were, the Ghoul and Lucy were taking on some death claws. This is like, I wonder if this is them actually shooting it, because obviously the death claws were all CG, even though the CG work was spectacular on the death claws. That was the part where a death claw crashes through these doors and then stands up. So, is this a BT behind the scenes of like them just about to call action or something? Or usually when they have digital creatures or something, they still have a thing that they can look at, so they know where to look. Welcome to the American Economic Forum, brought to you by Robco. Yeah, there's Cooper Howard, who he promoted Vaultec, which he regrets doing. He needed the work. Yeah, so this is like the set. So parts of the set are cut off. The production work on this show is stellar. Like, so good. Like, is this a shot right now where they're doing, the camera's running, and this guy's over here having a smoke? But it could just be a guy having a smoke waiting for him to call action. A smoke and a pancake. Come back soon. I'm constantly looking at my phone to see, it says there's 8 people watching, even though I know one of them is me. So, yes. Please say something. Drop a like, drop a sub, share, alert, do stuff. What's the tops? They didn't go with the tops though. They only went to the Lucky 38. Yeah, this is Robert House place. Lucky 38. See how nice and lined up everything is? Wish I could zoom in and see these photos. Lucky 38. See, I want to zoom in because I don't know what that says. There's like someone's names there. Lucky 38, Lucky 38. Yeah, there's death claw marks. This is like post-war. Okay. Oh, no video. I was hoping because that was a death claw face, it'd be like a behind-the-scenes video, but it's not even that. It's just more pictures. 9 people. Somebody, speak up. This is like one of the most views I've had. Most live viewers that I've had. And only Noble speaks up. Here are the creature feature gallery. You can see behind the scenes imagery showing how the practical monster and robot characters turned out so neat. Neat. That is so neat. We start with a character who may look familiar, and this one's 3D. Filmmakers created a life-size Securitron for the show. You can see some of the green work back there. Some type of device so they could roll them around. The practical work was so good too, like they used practical as much as they possibly could. Jonathan Nolan is the brother of Christopher Nolan. If you may not be aware, Chris Nolan is also known for doing a lot of practical stuff. Manually controlled by a green dolly. If you look closely, you can see it in the back. So, does that mean people in green suits were like pushing it around? You may be wondering how many people a big robot. It keeps answering my own questions that I asked in the next picture. You may be wondering how many people a big robot like me takes to operate. Take a guess. Why wasn't Yes Man wasn't in the show? I was assuming Yes Man would be in the show, and voiced by David Foley, who did the voice in the games. So they had a little green device to push them around, and green screens, green colored people. Operator reveal in ... There's the ghoul. The ghoul is super cool. 1, 2, 3. Victor's from the games. Here we go, the Deathclaw. I was wanting to see more of this. Next up, the mighty Deathclaw. Did you know they're taller than me? The Deathclaw work was spectacular. The digital effects were so good. They looked properly composited into the world. Filmmakers created a practical Deathclaw suit, puppeted by operators to preserve the gradients and texture of the world. For some shots, the head was all that was needed, so one operator could move and act as the Deathclaw. Did they have to move his voice, or was it just his face? This is the scene where that's a screen right there. They're using the volume screen. It's like the next level of green screen where they do it right on set, so they don't add it later on in post. This is the scene where Cooper was wearing the MSNC when he used to be in the UMNC, the whatever you call it, Marines. Wearing those shoddy ass suits, he fell over in the suit and he couldn't move, and then a Deathclaw showed up, killed all the Chinese people. But for whatever reason, it didn't try to come at him. I think it's because the Deathclaw couldn't smell a human, he just smelled the suit. And assumed it was something it couldn't eat, so it just took off. This is a full-size body shots. The operator had to wear a full Deathclaw suit. That's nuts. I didn't think they would go that far with it. Look at that. That looks like Sigourney Weaver and Aliens. That's how far they went with it. They made a full-sized. I guess this is what a Deathclaw would look like in full size. Actually, I think it would be bigger. I mean, obviously it's for a show, so they don't need to be full size. But in the games, Deathclaws are like twice the height of people. The See, I would love to see a video of that and how they managed to maneuver around that. What do you think of what we're seeing right now? Is this cool? Do you like this? And become the terrifying creature with just a little help too, friends. See, these guys are wearing blue. Why are they wearing blue and the other ones were wearing green? That's the last one. Yeah, cool. Tell people in the chat to say something. I want to know who's here. Stupid garbage won't tell me who's here. I wish I could walk up to that and see what's out the window. Can't go anywhere else. I can only go upstairs. It's stupid heart gets in my way. It's cool that it was practical, yeah. They use practical as much as possible, which I don't think enough shows do anymore. They rely too much on digital. Shut up. Yelling. Pretty decent view of New Vegas, or I mean, I guess it was back then. It was Las Vegas. Tops Casino. All right. Well, now I'm running out of things to talk about, but I don't want to go. Just 8 people watching. I ran out of things to talk about. Yeah, I am pressing this button. You poot face. Well, yeah, I could still look at what's on the map. I looked at some of this already. Behold the Caswan. Yeah, I mean, I didn't talk about this on my other shows. It's just that we gotta wait for this thing to load up, because apparently it's 1999 and we're still using Flash. 9 people watching. Drop a like, drop a comment, drop a super chat. Oh, I've never had a super chat yet. I'm finally monetized to the point where I can get super chats. And I'm really hoping I can get the 1K subs this year. What do you think of my new setup? I don't have any fancy blue lights or a bunch of crap to put behind me yet. My cat's right behind me. Can you see her? Oh, whatever. Yeah, might as well look at the rest of this while I'm here. So now we're on the Princewind, or the Caswind as they call it in the show. Welcome to the Caswanin, I don't know, Epic Brotherhood Still Airship. You'll find behind the scenes content of everything Brotherhood of Steel vehicles created for Fallout. Mine, where's that? Thanks. Looks just like the whatever way. You can't go that way. This way. I mean, this is all like far and gone with the show. Like having extra stuff outside of the show, and not everybody does that. They took the time to make this website. Here's the view. You can see Vegas from here. Just see the wasteland. Quick screen record. As a vehicle myself, this is one of my favorite things. Here you'll find behind the scenes content of how the show follows the image from the show. Let's do it. here we got the slots. You can see the inside of these birds. You kind of did, but which parts are less in the video? It depends on what's in the shot. Let's skip ahead a little. Concept of modeling, the team starts to define actual equations. It breaks the model into pieces that need to be constructed. Yeah, because they usually don't build the entire thing. For the vertebrate, the filmmakers focus on the main body of the vehicle built on stage. Its practical interior is big and tactile enough for the cast and crew to work in. He had a great character arc. There's Kamale and Baladi, all wrapped in the LED wall to display the sky. I'll show shoot vehicle sky. Sign simultaneous. Rather than adding sign notes. Exactly. These new behind LED green screen are beginning. On shoot day, all the elements work in tandem to create the seamless, dynamic vertebrate moments from the show. Video. You look very happy. That pilot. You guys look mad. This looks like stuff from season 1. Yeah, this is from season 1. Maybe this set was up since then. Yeah, it's entirely possible. I didn't even consider this could have been up since season 1. This is called Craig Mazin. This gallery, a peek behind the airship, shows glimpses of both the practical set and the digital techniques that came together to create the illusion of flight. Many of the walkways were practically built while the sky and land beneath were digital. It was so seamless that even behind the scenes images tried to secure it. It's hard to tell which parts are practical and which are visual effects and magic. Please enjoy the scale and detail of these peaks behind the scenes and see if you can spot where the practical ends and the digital begins. the scar on his face. It's fresh. Joking around. Look how I'm funny. I'm a funny motherfucker. The suit work was really impressive. How they're able to move so freely in it. So I don't know if it was 100% practical, but how they managed to get people to maneuver around in those big ass suits was impressive. This is from season 2. Just mad. He was only in this season for 1 episode. Spoilers, by the way. There he is. There's Cooper in the USMC Marine Corps. United States Marine Corps. 1, 2, 3, 4. I love the Marine Corps. 1, 2, 3, 4. I love the Marine Corps. Had somebody else lying down that wasn't Baldur. I guess if they have to lie down all day, like a stunt person. You're the lying down stunt guy. Imagine if that was the only job you could do as a stunt. We need a stunt double who just lies down all day, as opposed to a stunt double who has to run around and do shit. That's the Chinese during the war, the Great War. It was U.S. versus China. Aaron Morton in the armor with the Yao Guai scars across the chest. Yeah, as you can see, they don't do, it looks kind of silly when it's half the suit. Like huge beginning, huge top, small bottom. This is when they're in the slash gorilla factory. They're on some platform, apple boxes so they look higher up. There's a sunset sarsaparilla in the background. One of the stunt doubles, I guess, who likes to wear a hat when he's not wearing his helmet. Oh, they're like hooked up. You can see they're hooked up to something. Because I'm sure as light as these things are, they made these as light as they could possibly be, but I'm sure they're still heavy. Is she wearing a GoPro or is that light? There's the director, John Nolan. Yeah, you can see how the feet don't go all the way. They have like shoes underneath it. Because I'm sure it would be hard to walk directly on these feet. This is all probably plastic or something. A very light material. Oh yeah, that's the scene where Maximus and Thaddeus, that's supposed to be Thaddeus in there, but it's not double. Running away. You can see how much taller they are than people. They probably get tall actors anyways, or some tall stunt doubles. This guy looks taller than that guy. And these suits could be totally empty anyway, maybe nobody's even in it. There's Aaron Mortan. Action. As you can see, completely game accurate. This is Fallout 4 design. See how well they can move around. They can kick. think that's fully practical right there. They can walk around surprisingly well. I wish I would show more about like how they managed to make it so maneuverable. Got here. I'm on the Fallout website. There's a map. I think that's all of it for that. This is the map that might have been here since season 1. I just didn't pay attention. But this is the map just like New Vegas. Over here is where Vault 33 is. And then there's New Vegas. The outer vault door, where Lucy first steps foot into the wasteland, more than an exit, it's the beginning of an adventure. And to explore this iconic locate Shonate. $2:05. Been on for an hour and a half. That's pretty good. If you're new to the chat, say what's up. Welcome to the Outer Baldur. I'm Secure John, programmed to guide you through locations from the Fallout series. Have a look behind to explore the behind-the-scenes content and exclusive footage, with some not too dark humor along the way. Yeah, this would be from season 1. This is some storyboards. She tells Norm to watch Elevator. Lucy stands into 50-50. Chet, see? She takes his hand. Chet looks at his hand, gets woozy. Oh yeah, she knocks him out. Norm reacts. Lucy! Lucy, bitch noise. Is she like writing the noises? I'm bringing him home. She's alone, deciding her relationship to herself and her journey. 3? What does that mean, 3? The final resolution happens between Lucy and the vault itself. Angle drill operating door. Wide over Norm. Door pulls out. Starts rolling. Norm reacts. Davy and Reg exit elevator. Continue pan onto wide over pan. Davy goes to blah blah blah. This is her about to go out into the wasteland the first time. One thing I never got was like they lived in the vault their entire life, so they've never been outside. So I feel like if they go outside, it could like fuck them up somehow. If you've never been outside ever in your life, it feels like they would like have something happen to them. Their skin would melt off or something. This collection explores constructing the vault, going behind the scenes of physical digital magic used to bring the classic Fallout moment of escaping the vault to the screen. Yeah, these are just like the storyboards we just saw, while feeling like a cohesive environment. The outer vault door the door. But wrapped in an LED wall, floor panels that allowed the filmmakers to add texture and character to the wall ceiling apartment. Digital backgrounds aren't done in post. The environment is displayed on the LED screen while shooting, allowing the filmmakers to feel and react to the VFX in real time. This still required filmmakers to build a decent amount of outer vault door environment from scratch. Have a look at some of the building photos to see the stage transform from wood and screws to a camera-ready iconic vault door. It's not up there. It's in the colors of the game, but is that a practical thing that you probably wouldn't even see? And action. Welcome to the industrial textures of the vault, where we explore how even in a metal tube, filmmakers design small human touches that make it feel like home. With simple patio furniture and fake grass rug, production design creates an illusion of a yard just outside the vault dweller's front doors. There's a little kitty in the background. Mid-century modern mailboxes with bold space-age silhouettes. Flamingos. I'm not sure what those are, but they're colorful. Must have been a bird from before the war. Let's call a flamingo, dude. How come you don't know that? Venturing away from living spaces, the series had to capture the textures and intricacies of underground vault ecosystem. The vault scenes were connected through multiple physical elevators the filmmaker actually built. A small detail that implies a much larger world. Much of the inspiration for the physical architecture came from the old subway tunnels, industrial liminal spaces, elevator shafts, and of course the game itself. There's more pictures of the buildings. There's lines in it, but I mean that just looks like a floor. I didn't see anywhere. It looks like a floor, and it's been walked on too. It's been like they actually like scuff it a bit, so it's not like perfectly clean. And of course, all the aging work they do always looks so good. Along with the environments, the practical props and technology on set preserve the tacticality. That means one very important thing: buttons. I present the smooth sounds of the show's retro futuristic technology. Please be aware, this image gallery does not have audio. You're gonna improvise? Okay. Clack. Okay. He's saying the like noises. That's pretty funny. Tick tick tick. Babe. I mean, this is how far they go with details. These are things you'd barely even see on screen, if at all. Wow, wow, wow. Ow, my butt. Beep, beep, boop, beep. Bumper, boop, boop. Rotation throttle. Forward. Increase. Bang, fish, clank, clank, clank. Something is loading. Why is that? What's loading? I don't know why it's loading. It's like there's something new to see here. It's 2:15. I've been on for an hour and 45. Is that all of that to see? Probably. Yes Man? That's strange. I never heard of it. So that's not Yes Man. It's just a secure drawing with a smiley face on it. I call this file Frozen in the 1950s because it's all about how the production designers recreated the style and interior design of the time period. Sets were designed with bold shades, clean lines, bright colors, and most importantly, lamps. Lamps don't just draw the eye, they define the era. Lamp designs of the period focus on rounded, geometric shapes inspired by space age and nuclear rays. Let's analyze some examples. There's a giddy up thingy right there. Where is this at? What do you mean? It's in a vault. 10 people. Come on, people. Somebody say something other than Noble. I want to know who's here. If you're new, let me know. Where is this at? It's in the vaults, in like the practical set vaults. If that's what you mean. Vault 33 or 32. With our first model, the bottom makes the lamp. It's sleek and knows that direction it's headed. I dare say it's the bomb. Am I using that right? See, there's like a magazine over there. No one's gonna see that. White, round, smooth, like a mushroom. Oh yikes, this lamp is really committed to the show's atomic motifs. There's a desk fan. You can scrap that. Let's giddy up again. I don't know if you can actually ride those things. There's an old ass TV. A lamp from Lucy's family living room. Who knew a flying saucer could be so elegant, perfect for the space age? Moving into Lucy's kitchen, it's all about appliances. Production design centered around an elegant integration of the technology into the home. Atomic Queen, Radiation King is also another brand name. Cooking and washing appliances, all antiques, were sturdy, striking, and bold with porcelain and chrome finishes. Is that a washing machine? Yeah. Waxo. Another giddy up. Why just they're all over the place, but no one does anything with them? And of course, everything needed to match for a beautiful frame. O'Keefe and Merritt gas ranges and ovens are particularly popular in Southern California. With these details, filmmakers capture both air and geography. So that's real? I don't know. I don't live in California, so I don't know if that's a real thing or not. Tables and chairs maintain a mid-century modern design, but leaned into more industrial materials and shapes that made sense for a vault. These plates are literally called atomic dishes. Trend that included diamond stars and autumn-inspired designs. How do you're inspired by an atom? Very atom punk. To design the living room sets, production designers filled them with entertainment and props for passing the time in non-50s. That's supposed to be a computer. People didn't have computers in the 50s, so this isn't actually the 50s though. This is like 20, whatever. There's a guitar. fish right there, some books, Vault-Tec record. What does a Vault-Tec record have on it? Vinyl records with all the best jazz, swing, doo-wop, rockabilly, and country from post-war America, custom made for the show. So what's a Vault-Tec class greatest hits like? Beam. Or they could tune into an antique transistor radio. To cruise the airwave with an actual knob. Though I'm told signal in the vault set is a little spotty, yeah, I'd imagine. Zenith, what is that though? Does this thing like close up? What are this little card thing though? Best looking hair. Somebody won an award for best looking hair. The Autumn Curtain, The Survivors, these real books. And of course, filmmakers had to build a small personal terminal, like direct homage to the games. The best part is that it actually worked. Wang. Production designers found an atomically designed fish tank. Fish not included. This is Lucy's place. Oh wait, this is Lucy's place. This is the part where Cooper made a commercial for Vault-Tec. Vault today. Some people are still wearing masks. I wonder if this was still shot during COVID, when COVID was more of a thing. Sugar bombs. There's pictures of the Vault Boy just all over the place. This section titled Small Details You Have Missed contained accessing those small details you may have missed. The Vault classrooms had handwritten notes attached to crayon drawings, dreams of children's past and futures. What are these kids going to dream about? See, all they know are explosions. Notice how just about every drawing is just a mushroom cloud. Study hard for your overseer. Our American History, 1776, Declaration of Independence, 1969, and their version, the 13 states. 2077, the bomb. There he goes with 2077. Again, what is with that year? They use it in Cyberpunk. There's just something about that year that they like to use. I wish I could get the connection. Nuclear explosion. Kane and we decided to move underground and have a better life. I never saw the outside, just a picture. Regina. My family ran from the bright red explosion. Hollywood looked like it was bleeding and the big sign on the hill was all red. That's what Granny Jean told all of us on her front stoop. The earth split in two like an egg at breakfast. The colorful clouds formed a puffy top. Many practical props were made for the Vault election, so I've archived them under everything needed to storage a democratic election just in case. Koala Clover, what does that mean? Are those people's names? desks and chairs to have a place for the cast to assemble. You can do better. Vote Betty. This was during the election. Betty won. Betty, Reg, Tom, Woody. Set the stage for the vote with instructions and candidate options, an elegant piece of environmental storytelling. Have prop makers create makeshift booths for people to cast their vote in private. I don't even know if we saw that on camera. Like, they even have like graphs and I voted. With little tiny buttons, I say I voted on it. Show your characters casting your votes to preserve the democratic process, even if it's fictional. That's all that's in here. I think it's time to wrap it up. There's no more news to report. No one except Noble and some coffee person wants to say anything. If you're new here, you should say hi. Oh, small that. If I go over to my stream elements or stream labs, you guys see it? See 10 viewers, but can't look at who it is. Read fast chat. Participants. Only shows 2 people. Why doth it do that? This is behind the scenes right here. I shouldn't be showing you this. This is how the sausage is made. The sausage. But it's time to wrap it up. I'm almost at 2 hours, but this is the most people I've had watching live so far on my own. So thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to drop a like. Drop a comment after the show if you're too shy to say something in the chat. But chatting on live shows is the funnest, so I don't know why you're not doing it. As always, Noble Bull, you're the rock. Thanks for being here. I don't know what these new blue shields are. This started to be a new thing. I don't know what that means. It's because you're a mod. But it used to be a little wrench. Now it's this blue shield, I guess. Maybe that's a new thing. Okay, yeah. So you don't see what I see. I think looks like it. That'll be smart, anyways. This is TGAN Live. Thanks to everyone who was here. I need to go buy some groceries. Don't forget to keep gaming. Thanks for watching. TGAN out.